I ate one date with peanut butter every single day for 30 days, and I tested my blood sugar each time. What I found surprised me, because when I ate a date alone, my glucose spiked fast and dropped hard. But when I added peanut butter, the curve was almost completely flat. This combo sounds healthy. It's everywhere: fitness accounts, clean eating guides, pre-workout snack lists. But here's the question nobody's actually answering. Is it stabilizing your blood sugar, or is it just a sugar trap with a healthy food disguise? The answer depends on one thing most people get completely wrong, and we're getting into it right now. By the time this video ends, you'll know exactly whether this snack raises or stabilizes your blood sugar, and you'll understand why. Not just a yes or no, because it's genuinely more nuanced than that. Timing matters. The ratio matters. And the type of peanut butter you use matters more than most people realize. We're going to look at real glucose data and actual research, not influencer claims, not fear-based diet advice, just the science, clearly explained. Here's where the confusion starts. Dates have one of the highest glycemic index scores of any whole food, around 103, which is actually higher than white table sugar. When you eat a date alone, glucose hits your bloodstream fast. Your pancreas reacts with a sharp insulin response, and if you're diabetic, pre-diabetic, or following a low-carb protocol, that's a real concern. So the health community split into two camps. Influencers started calling dates a superfood packed with potassium, magnesium, fiber, antioxidants, and they're not wrong about the nutrients. Meanwhile, doctors and metabolic health researchers pointed at the sugar content and said, be careful, and they're not wrong either. The problem is that both sides are talking about dates in isolation. And that's exactly where the conversation breaks down, because almost nobody eats a date alone. They eat it with something. And what you eat it with changes everything. The real question isn't, are dates good or bad? The real question is, what happens to that date sugar when fat and protein enter the equation at the same time? That's where the science gets genuinely interesting. Let's walk through the mechanism step by step. One medjool date contains roughly 18 grams of carbohydrates, about 16 of which are sugar, split between glucose and fructose. Glucose absorbs directly into the bloodstream through the small intestine, fast. Fructose routes through the liver first, slower, but it still contributes to overall blood sugar load. Eaten alone, that date hits your system like a quick wave. Now add 1 tablespoon of natural peanut butter. That's approximately 8 grams of fat and 4 grams of protein. Here's what the fat does. It physically slows gastric emptying, the rate at which food leaves your stomach and enters the small intestine. When your stomach empties more slowly, glucose absorption slows down. The wave becomes a steady stream. Your blood sugar rises, but gradually, not sharply. The protein adds another layer. It triggers a mild, controlled insulin response on its own, but it also increases satiety, which means you're less likely to keep eating. This is the difference between glycemic index and glycemic load, and it's everything. Glycemic index measures how fast a food raises blood sugar in isolation. Glycemic load accounts for the full nutritional context of a meal. A date has a high GI, but a date combined with fat and protein has a dramatically lower glycemic load. The sugar is the same. The metabolic event is completely different. Research backs this up. Studies from the University of Toronto and other institutions on glycemic index have consistently shown that adding fat and protein to carbohydrate sources significantly reduces postprandial, meaning after-meal glucose spikes. This isn't theoretical, it's measurable. More recently, continuous glucose monitor data from dietitians and biohackers has made this visible in real time. When people test a date alone versus a date with peanut butter, the curves look different. The date alone curve rises steeply and drops fast. The date plus peanut butter curve rises slowly, plateaus moderately, and declines gradually. Less reactive, more stable. Here's the finding that surprises most people. This combination often produces a lower blood sugar response than a slice of whole wheat bread, which, by the way, many people consider a safe carbohydrate. One important caveat, and this is worth being honest about, individual variation exists. Your gut microbiome, your baseline insulin sensitivity, and even your stress levels at the time of eating all influence how your body responds. Some people will still see a moderate spike, but for most metabolically healthy individuals, the buffering effect is real and measurable. So, what's the practical version of all this? It's simpler than you'd think. 1 medjool date, 1 tablespoon of natural peanut butter. That's it. That's the ratio that consistently produces the most stable glucose response based on available data. A few specifics matter here. Natural peanut butter only ingredients should be peanuts and maybe salt, nothing else. The moment you introduce hydrogenated oils or added sugar, you're disrupting the very mechanism that makes this work. You're adding inflammatory fats and extra sugar on top of the date sugar you're trying to buffer. Timing also matters. Mid-morning or pre-workout is ideal. Your body is insulin sensitive. Your glycogen stores could use a controlled refuel, and you have activity ahead to use the energy. Before bed is not ideal. Your metabolism slows. You need less glucose, and the caloric density works against you. Want to amplify the effect even further? Add a few walnuts or half a teaspoon of ground flaxseed. More fiber, more fat, more buffering. The curve gets even flatter. Let's make this concrete. 3 ways to actually use this in your daily life. Option of the lazy version. Pit a date, stuff it with peanut butter, eat it 20 to 30 minutes before your workout. Done. No prep, no cooking, no thinking. It delivers fast access energy from the date and sustained fuel from the fat and protein. It's a better pre-workout than most things sold in a wrapper. Option B, the meal upgrade. Chop 1 date and stir it into your morning oatmeal. Or Greek yogurt bowl with a tablespoon of peanut butter. Now you've added natural sweetness, protein, and fat to a meal that's already fiber rich. The blood sugar response is even more controlled, and you get hours of stable energy. Option C, the craving killer. It's 3 p.m. You want something sweet. Instead of reaching for a cookie or a granola bar or something from a vending machine, you eat 1 stuffed date. The sweetness satisfies the craving. The fat and protein stop you from wanting more. And your blood sugar doesn't crash 20 minutes later. This isn't diet culture. It's not a superfood hack. It's just applied biochemistry in snack form. A few things worth being straight about. If you have type 1 diabetes, the fat buffering effect is real, but it doesn't replace carbohydrate counting. The sugar in that date still needs to be accounted for. Talk to your doctor or dietitian before using this as a blood sugar strategy. If you have a peanut allergy, which should be obvious, but almond butter or cashew butter work with a similar fat and protein profile. The mechanism is the same. This snack is roughly 150 to 170 calories. That's not a problem, but it is a real number. 1 date with peanut butter is a snack. 3 dates with 3 tablespoons of peanut butter is a meal. The healthy food halo is one of the most common ways people unintentionally overconsume calories. Don't let the biochemistry give you permission to eat more overall. And if you have fructose malabsorption, dates can cause digestive discomfort regardless of what you pair them with. The peanut butter doesn't change how your gut handles fructose. That's a separate issue. Direct answer, yes. For most people, 1 date with 1 tablespoon of natural peanut butter is a genuinely blood sugar friendly snack. Not because dates are low in sugar, they're not, but because context and combination change the metabolic outcome. Remember that glucose curve from the beginning of the video, the flat line next to the sharp spike? That's not marketing. That's food synergy. Two ingredients that, eaten separately, behave very differently from how they behave together. The bigger idea here is this. The goal isn't to eliminate foods. It's to understand how they interact. Smart combinations consistently outperform elimination diets for both sustainability and metabolic outcomes. Here's what I want you to do. Try this today. 1 date, 1 tablespoon of natural peanut butter, and notice how you feel 2 hours later. No crash? Still satisfied? Drop a comment and tell me. If you've already tried this combo, I want to hear about it. Did it work for you? Did you notice a difference? Comment below. I read every single one. Subscribe if this changed how you think about so-called sugary foods. Because next video we're looking at 3 other surprising snack combinations that flatten your blood sugar curve, and one of them involves something most people assume is unhealthy. Like this video if the science surprised you. See you in the next one.